What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. So I am back with another reaction video. Now this comes from Anton Daniels. Shout out to Anton, you guys. Anton is killing them over there on his channel and his multiple channels. Shout out to him doing the damn thing. I wanted to react to this because Anton was on Fox News. Shout out to him doing big things over there. And I wanted to just react to what he was saying and what they were saying because it's so necessary. And I think it's important that we share these types of videos because you have to get this information out there to give people something else to look at, a different perspective, and not just think that it's okay to just go out and vote on somebody just because they look like you and they're just saying the things you want to hear, but to dive a little bit deeper. And also do your own research. Look and get your own research. Be aware of who you're voting for, not just vote because somebody tell you to vote or because somebody tell you that you should be voting a certain way just because or for whatever reason. It makes sense to do your research, look into the candidates, figure out who has your best interest at heart and vote for those people. Make an intelligent voting decision and not just vote just because somebody look like you or just because somebody else tells you that's what you're supposed to do. So I thought this was interesting. Shout out to Anton. I'll put the full link to his video in the description, so make sure you guys go over and check him out if you haven't already. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
After that message from Obama yesterday to black men, I had to pull up on Fox News and give them my thoughts.
Joining me now is Xavier Doo, a former BLM activist, and Anton Daniels, a YouTuber, content creator. Xavier, let's start with you. You say you were personally, after watching them, offended by Obama's comments?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, Obama's not as talented of a liar as he used to be. But quite frankly, my ancestors fought way too hard for me to have the ability to learn how to read, just for Obama to expect me to be so uneducated to think that I would vote for Kamala Harris simply because she claims to be a black woman. And I mean, if people want to stop having Kamala Harris be called a DEI hire, maybe he should stop trying to remind us of her demographic every 5 minutes. Black men not supporting Kamala has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has everything to do with her lack of accomplishments over the last 1,359 days.
Baby, listen. Oh, Lord. Okay, they're not playing. He came right out the gate. I mean, he is not playing. And I said this before. I think we were duped. I think we were duped once before with Obama. And I think a lot of people voted because they wanted to see the first black president. This was something that, you know, your ancestors and your grandparents and all of these people wanted to see, and they didn't think that they would see in their lifetime. So it was basically a racial thing. It was an identity politics relation. You know, people wanted to vote for somebody who they thought would never be able to be in that position, looking at the state of this country and the history, you know, and it was something, okay, I get it. And I get that a lot of people felt that and wanted to see that, and they did. But it wasn't, you know, what you thought it would be. And I think there was a lot of hope and a lot of change. That was what they ran on. The Obama campaign, when he ran on change and hope and all of these things, and it was beautiful and people bought into it, and he became president and he served 2 terms. But out of those 2 terms, there was nothing, no major legislation passed that would support the black people who voted him in such a drastic number. There was nothing major that he did that was in support of black people. And I think a lot of people thought that, oh, if we voted a black person in, we would see some change. The things he ran on, we would see a change, we would see something different, and we got none of that. So now here we are again, they're trying to use that same tactic, and brought out Obama to try to woo the crowd with his speeches and his hope for change, and almost in a sense shaming black men, not in a sense, actually shaming them and trying to make them seem like this is how they should be voting because this is a woman and the women take care of us and this is what they do and we owe it, like you owe her something. This is the type of rhetoric that he's putting out there, and people are not buying it. And people, it's not the same as it was when he ran for president. It's a different time. There's a lot more at stake. There's a lot of things that are happening, and people don't want to hear that anymore. They're not buying his speeches. They're not buying what he's saying, and they're going to think for themselves and vote the way they want to vote. But the fact that he has to come out and try to shame men into voting for Kamala just because she appears to be black is insane to me. So he was spot on with that. Let's continue.
Well, Anton, I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, the shtick is kind of worn thin with Obama, you know. How you doing, Pittsburgh? You know, that whole, it just seems very 2002 or 3. I mean, 2008, I should say. Right? It doesn't quite have the same appeal as megastar-ish as he is.
You know, it's a Hail Mary pass considering that we did vote him in based off of identity politics. And I'm not saying that all is bad, because he did do some things that I didn't necessarily disagree with that Trump absolutely did better than him. But at the same time, I felt that it was incredibly disrespectful, because he's making the assumption that we're not educated enough to lead our families, to look at the policies, to understand exactly what's going on with immigration, and we're supposed to overlook everything that they did over the last 3.5 years that was not in our favor. And when I say our, I'm talking about the American people, let alone men, let alone black men, and we're supposed to vote for her because of some misogynistic reason that's made up. And instead, we've learned how to educate ourselves, and now they've sent their Messiah back to rein us in and bring us back into the Democratic plantation. And most men that I've spoken with have said that it's absolutely disrespectful, and we're done with Obama.
Oh my God, no lies detected. And I completely agree with that. And I think that's exactly what they did. And that's exactly what they're doing. And I think it's very disrespectful and in poor taste to assume that black men are just so stupid and they don't know how to think, and they can't think for themselves and vote the way they want to vote. It's ridiculous. And it's only the black community that's pulled to the forefront, pulled out as usual, and made examples of why they're not telling other people how to vote. They're out here simply campaigning. But when it comes to now black people, it was Joe Biden. If you don't vote for him, you're not black. How is it that somebody that is not black tell you you're not black enough if you don't vote for them? That's just, they do it over and over and over again. They constantly do it, and they think because it's worked before, they just use it because they feel, okay, that's what we got to do because it worked in the past and it's going to work now. And maybe not this time. Not this time. And we'll see, because we'll see when people go to the polls and vote how people actually vote and the outcome of it. It's the idea to think that black men are just dumb. And a lot of people do this. A lot of women tend to do this too, honestly, to make it seem as black men are just so dumb they don't know how to vote, and they're just going to follow the coattails of anybody who tells them what to do. And I think that that's very disrespectful and in poor taste to do that. And you know, and it's just sad. And for people who don't see it, it's ridiculous that you don't see that this is happening, because they do it over and over and over again. This is not the first time. And it worked for him. So now, but I remember he was on the campaign trail and he started talking and they started booing him. That's when I first realized, oh, baby, the jig is up. Oh, these people are not just gonna, they're not falling for the okie doke this time. They're gonna decide on who they wanna vote for based off what they see, based off the facts, not this BS that they come up here and throw in front of you and tell you, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. Oh, because you're black, you're supposed to vote for somebody black. Oh, you're supposed to know. I don't think it's gonna work this time. I don't think it's gonna work, but we shall see. Let's continue.
Well, Xavier, again, when he says, you're lucky Michelle's not here, he does, what is that supposed to mean? I mean, I guess it's supposed to be funny because she'll scold them in a more convincing or scarier fashion.
Like I said before, it's the idea of, and the Sunny Hostin said this on The View, that men, you know, black men are used to basically, and I'm summarizing what she said, basically they used to following, you know, the women, you know, the matriarchy, that men will basically get in line, black men will get in line and just do what the woman says. And for some, that's true. Some men are just following it. Oh, well, you know, we had other celebrities out here trying to tell you, oh, we're just voting for her just because she black. And that's supposed to be okay? No, people are smarter than that. That's not, you shouldn't vote for somebody just because they're black if they don't have any policies or anything that's going to be better for the entire country and black people more specifically, but for everybody. You know, things that are happening now is to a point where you just can't sit back and just say, oh, I'm just gonna vote for you because you're black, no matter what your policies are, no matter what you stand for, no matter where you sit, no matter how you view the world, no matter what. Oh, we're just gonna, that is dumb. That is dumb. But they're used to people, especially black people, thinking that way. And so, yeah, they use him to come in and him and Michelle as somehow the people to come in and just get you in line, get you in check, get you back on code and get you back in a position we need you to be in, because we need this vote and we need her in here so we can get what we want out of it, while the American people and specifically the black people get nothing out of it. You just get an empty vote. You just give them what they want and you get nothing. There's no policies passed, nothing that helps black people, nothing protect black people, nothing. So those days are over, in my opinion. I think you have to be willing to step out and say, hold on, I'm not just going to be this puppet on a string. I'm not going to just vote the way y'all want me to vote, because that's your best interest. That's not in our best interest. And at this point, it's not in the public's best interest. It's not in the American people's best interest, because look at what's happening. They're not even supporting their own. They're out here giving billions of dollars to migrants and illegal immigrants, while the American people are out here suffering these storms and tow up these people, taking everything that they own, and they can't even get help from their own. So what does that say to you? You have to pay attention to who's in office, their policies, and what they're doing, because if not, you're just going to continue to get hoodwinked, continue to get messed over, and there's nothing in it for the people who support this country. You got to pay attention, baby. Let's continue.
It's kind of treating young black men as children. Almost like your children, and mommy's coming back and mommy's gonna chastise you and you're gonna get punished, but you're supposed to vote against your own economic interests to make Michelle and Barack happy and their 4 mansions?
It's absolutely degrading, and black men are sick of being reduced to being expected to think with our skin color. We have seen how terrible the Obama, Biden, Harris trilogy has been for our country. It has completely demoralized our country, and quite frankly, Obama has no credibility, because this is the same man who heavily endorsed Joe Biden, and we all can feel in our pockets, and we can see it for sure at our border, just how terrible the Biden-Harris administration has been for our country. And Obama admitted himself back in an interview with Steve Colbert that if he could, he would run our country from an earpiece down in the basement, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly what he's doing.
Now, Xavier, Anton, the media are really pushing Obama to be the, rescue agent for Kamala's campaign. Watch this.
Barack Obama, with joy and with humor, is able to sort of get through to an audience that it's not okay to lie. It's not okay to sell the presidency. It's not okay to be a narcissist and to have the reins of the presidency.
Anton, so Kamala's joy campaign isn't really working. So Obama's going to come in, and again, you're supposed to make less money in real terms, right, and be happy with it to make Obama and like MSNBC happy? I don't understand this argument.
They took the same blueprint that got Obama elected, and he was a first for us, right? So our grandparents and our parents and things like that wanted to see this happen, but they were largely voting out of ignorance and voluntary ignorance, because they only wanted that identity politics in order to push him through into the presidency.
Listen, and before he continues, he's absolutely right. That's what I said earlier. It's clear. Yes, there's something a lot of people wanted to see, because they felt like they didn't think it could happen. So I get it, but they were ignorant to policies and what was really happening. And frankly, and quite frankly, a lot of people just don't care. They just want what they want, and that's just it. And I think that's what we're seeing with some of these voters. They're out here not even really caring about politics or anything. They just want to vote because the person looks like them. That's simply it. And that's too dangerous in the times that we're in now. And they don't realize that a lot of times the way they vote affects them in a negative way. And they don't realize it. Then you complain about the aftermath, but this is how you voted. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be very careful and more aware of who you're voting for. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, it doesn't matter who gets in, but it does. And not even just on the presidential level, but on the state level as well. You have to be mindful of the people that you're voting in, because it does affect things that are happening in this country, in your state, in your cities, and things of that nature. So I think, yes, a lot of our people vote out of ignorance, and a lot of them really don't care, because they don't want to do their due diligence. They just want to just vote because the person look like them. And that's just it. That's not been beneficial. That's not been beneficial to black people in particular. Just saying. Let's continue.
Admittedly, where he was charismatic, she isn't. And so we can see through her. She's a chameleon. When they unleashed her and they allowed for her to be able to take reporters' questions and things like that, it showed that she was completely incompetent. And frankly, not only do we feel disrespected, but I'm uncomfortable with Obama standing in front of us trying to scold us and then divert our attention away from the things that's really meaningful, especially for our families. I'm not comfortable with him. I don't want to hear any more messages of hope. I don't want to hear any more messages of joy. I can feel it with my pocketbooks. My friends can feel it with their pocketbooks. And we're ready for him to get out of our way.
I mean, Xavier, I saw something on YouTube. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was Instagram. But it was a young man, African American, and he was talking about the price of food. And I think he was at some fast food place. I can't remember what. I think it might have been McDonald's. But just the nuts and bolts, when you go through just what a Happy Meal costs, the differential in simple things that families like to treat themselves to, that's shocking. Like in Obama, you know, that doesn't affect him. It doesn't affect Hillary. It doesn't affect Trump, but Trump somehow has that ability to say, that's not acceptable in America.
Yeah, and you know, that's a great point. And I think they're trying to make us in particular focus on other issues outside of what the issues really are, if that makes sense. The issues that are really impacting our lives or Americans' lives, people's lives, is not what they want to focus on. You want to focus on somebody's personal issues or other issues, but the things that really matter, they're not focused on because that's not the agenda. And I think that's where we have to start to talk about that and focus on that and not get distracted by the other stuff that they're trying to throw in and make us focus on. Using scare tactics. Oh, that person is so scary and it's so this. No, what's happening with these wars and these immigrants and all of the things that's happening, that's more scarier than the things that they want us to focus on because it can directly affect our lives. And so I just think that the BS has to stop. And I think, there has to be a new way of doing politics and voting in politicians and presidents. We have to come up with a better way to screen these people and really hold them accountable and really make them really come up with something more tangible for the American people, because I really honestly think it's a disgrace that you have people out here who are not citizens, who have not paid into this country, able to get all of this money and resources and rent free when the citizens are struggling as we speak. I don't understand that for the life of me. I don't understand how other people who are not citizens of this country can get more than what the citizens are getting. And especially in a time of need, the citizens are let down. And I just think that that's horrible. And it's something that they cannot deny or walk away from, but they don't want to talk about that. You just want to point to something else, but not the things and the issues that are really, really happening today. So listen, I'm gonna leave it here, you guys. Listen, shout out to Anton, shout out to Fox News, shout out to them for this, because I think this is really important. I'm going to put the link to the full video so you guys can check out the full video. You want to say who you're voting for, leave that in the comments as well. I definitely want to know your thoughts on the state of this country, the illegal immigrants, all of this stuff that's happening. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that Kamala is prepared to lead this country and to do what's right for the American people? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell, y'all know what it is. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.